Hello, everyone. Welcome to Buffalo Wild Wings in Pikeville. It's home of the Coach Kelly Wells Show. For the next half hour, we'll talk nothing but U Pike basketball. Joined by the head coach of your University of Pikeville Bears, Coach Kelly Wells. Welcome back, fresh off a trip to Georgia, and now a little bit of a break for the Bears program.
Yeah, we're thrilled to be back home. We've got a lot of work to do. We've got a couple weeks here to try to iron out some issues, try to continue to improve, and that's really all we've been about all year long, is just trying to concentrate on getting better every single day, every single possession.
Absolutely, and of course we've talked about it since the Mid-South Conference has expanded the schedule. You play a few Mid-South Conference games before the holidays, and then full on in January you get into the conference schedule. It gives you a look at where you are, and in this year's case, against some of the best teams in the conference. But it also gives you a time to see where weaknesses are. It exposes some things, positive or negative.
It can go both ways. I think in years past when we've done that, we've been able to win through those kind of mistakes and
Sure.
learning. This year we took a couple hits. Of course, we played the hardest start that you possibly could play,
Yeah.
and that was okay. We did get some measure. We got some good film. We've got some video now that we can look at and kind of dissect the issues that we have and things we want to work on. And so in that regard, it's positive. Losing games never a positive
Right.
in my mind, but certainly there was some growth there, and it's either winning or learning. And we spent some time learning, and it's kind of refocused our practice session, and now we have a time to really concentrate and dig in on the books.
Exactly, and that's what it's all about. These guys are student athletes, and the student part comes first. We've talked about that many times. A chance to focus on that, but also during the Christmas holidays, you get a little time for extra practice. Once finals are complete, you've got a game here, and then you head to Florida, but you'll get a lot of individual time as well.
But we do, and we get an opportunity really just to gel and bond some and get to know each other. Just like tonight, all the guys are going to be here tonight. We get to have a fun experience, no pressure, no practice, no games, no game prep to try to get ready for. And those are as critical pieces to it as practice is. So our guys with new faces are trying to learn each other, where we're supposed to be, when we're supposed to be there. And they've continued to grow, continued to stretch, and we're going to do that. And, it's not going to happen. There's no magic potion that we can give
Sure.
them. It's just going to take some time and some fine-tuning as we go.
The last two times out for your Bears, 59 points each in those two losses. You concerned about the offensive letdown?
Yeah, we've never really been in that position. We've never had the issues of getting the ball in the basket, and we've just been very passive. I think all of our guys are waiting for someone else to take the lead and take the charge, and quite frankly, we as coaches are too. We're waiting for somebody to take the bull by the horns and get it going, and it's going to happen. One night we'll get it all stuck together. We'll start making shots, and it'll really go smooth. And right now the guys are a little bit shaken confidence-wise, trying to figure out what we're supposed to do in the system. And we're doing great defensively. We're number 7 in the country with defensive field goal percentage, keeping teams underneath 64 points a game. If you and I talk any year, we'd say 64 points. We probably won by 30.
Sure.
And that's just not been the case. And we're growing offensively, and we're going to continue to get better, and we're going to find the right buttons to push with them. And it's just going to be one night we get it going, and it's just going to continue to go.
Absolutely, and there have been signs of greatness, frankly, on the offensive side, just not that consistency. We'll talk more about that as tonight's show goes. We're going to take a look at some highlights from the start of the season. 11-3, and in the first regular season rankings, 14th in the country. We'll talk more about that as well as we look at some of the early season highlights from this U Pike basketball team.
You see, we broke out our new grays out here. I have an opportunity to kind of look at our new uniforms here, and the guys really enjoy those, and we have as well. It's got the old style a little bit to them, but you'll see us coming here with some dribble isolation plays right here with Darian and Desmond on the wing. And one of the things we've tried to really do is start playing north and south a little bit better. And in that situation, we got a good mid-range jump shot that we want to try to get most possessions or layup or get to the free throw line. And here our guys are doing some of our new motion spread, trying to keep the floor spaced out and look for shooters, and Marshall comes up with a great assist from Chase Parsley to the corner jump shot, and Marshall has certainly got to continue to do that but make those open shots for us. Here we are with a little bit of our zone, and what we try to do defensively is create offense from our defense, and here we got to force a tough contested shot, a great rebound, and now we're going up the floor, and again we're spread out into our motion offense, and we're going to go to some ball screen action here at the high post. And we do a lot of this high-low ball screen action to try to get our 4s and 5s in the middle of the floor, working off of each other. And here Mike Lewis does a great job of reading the defense, going strong hand to his left and getting the finish and the foul. Again, more spacing, more movement, and here's a great offensive rebound coming at this point. We like Jordan Perry shooting those open shots, and he'll make those. And if he doesn't, we're good enough to clean those up. And again, he follows it back up with a great tough move to the basket using his left hand. And again, here we come with some more offense from our defense off a free throw miss. So we want to push every single possession we can possibly go in the half court, in the full court, off of any kind of miss. And we're in our fast break series that leads to our ball screen action. Again, our 4s and 5s are right in the middle of the floor, trying to keep good spacing. Then we ISO right to the post and get a nice little fadeaway by R.J. Freeman. And R.J. really likes that shot with a little bit of a fadeaway. And again, you'll see more. We've got the bright green and the bright orange playing here at Life, and more offense off of transition, and we want to get more of that. That was one of the nights we had 59 points that we didn't get enough of these kind of plays, and certainly we want to continue to do that. And a great run-out play here by Darian, and we got to continue to get more of those, and that's why we put those highlights on there so we can make sure we see the things that we need to continue to be doing. And again, here's the same kind of thing at home against Bob Jones, getting more transition points, and that was a game we scored 97 points in. So we've got to continue to get to the free throw line and try to find a way to get these easy buckets. And more unselfish play by the Bears there with a 3-on-1 fast break. Everybody touches the ball and get an easy basket.
Absolutely. And, of course, UPike back in action against Bob Jones University December 16th. Right now, this team's focused on final exams. They've already begun. They're full on into finals coming up this week, and it's a most important part of the year, of the semester for these guys.
Well, it's a huge pillar of what we try to be successful at, and academics is the key pillar to that. And our guys are continually working, and some are at different places in their education. Some are further along in senior year, some are freshmen, but they're all trying to get together and do the same exact thing, and that's to be successful and ultimately graduate. And the teachers have been great with our players. We've missed some classes due to road trips, and our whole faculty staff is awesome with our student athletes on campus, and we'll continue to get better. And the guys are really digging in right now and trying to keep plowing through the field of hard work and focus.
We'll talk about next semester, the Christmas break, games during that holiday, and, of course, your 14th in the country. We'll talk about that a little later as well. When we come back, we'll meet a couple of your players, guys that are seniors, that are winding down their college basketball career. When the Kelly Wells Show returns, it's presented by Appalachian Wireless, live from Buffalo Wild Wings. Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings in Pikeville. It's home of the Kelly Wells Show. We talk UPike basketball every Wednesday night right here, and you're invited to join us at Buffalo Wild Wings. The coach will rejoin us in just a few moments. We'll talk about the Bears ranked 14th in the country, standing at 11-3, but in the Bears Den now. We'll meet a couple of the UPike players, and 5'10" senior guard out of Bullitt East High School, Trey Rakes, joins us now. Trey, welcome back to the Kelly Wells Show.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
We've, of course, talked before, and you were much younger then, now a senior, well on your way to your degree and wrapping up your college career. Let's talk about that first, because you're in the midst of finals right now. Let's talk about your major and what you plan to do with that in the future.
Well, I'm majoring in business management right now. I'm on the track to graduate, so that's going pretty well. But for the future, I really want to get into coaching. I want to be a grad assistant somewhere.
Sure.
I'm not sure where yet, but it's just a passion I've always had, something I've always wanted to do, something I always thought I'd be good at, and I can't wait to get that part of my life started.
Very good. And we know that there are many of your former teammates that have made that transition. Yeah. They're coaching here locally, and I know Coach has a certain amount of pride seeing those guys coaching high school basketball, guys that have been a part of the program, graduate assistants even here. Do you want to stay closer here, head back to home?
You know, I'm not really sure yet. Obviously, Coach Wells does a great job with former players and in the coaching transition. He's produced a lot of great coaches. I wouldn't mind going back home, but I also keep in mind that I wanted to stay here too as well. So I'm just trying to keep my options open right now and just trying to find the best fit for me.
Very good. Finals is upon you. Final exam's always a stressful time, no matter the student, no matter the major. I have to ask you the question because basketball you seem very comfortable on the court. Mm-hmm. More pressure in a big Mid-South Conference matchup or a final exam that's staring you in the face?
Well, that's a tough one because those games get pretty intense. But I would say probably a big final, just being on the court, it's just something I'm used to. Finals, I think they're a lot more stressful because when you're out on the court, you don't think, you're just playing.
Sure.
and there's a lot more preparation and studying for finals, and I think that's definitely more stressful.
You've been on the basketball court a long time. Probably picked up your first ball before you could walk, and everybody had the Little Tykes goal.
That's right.
And it elevated as we grew.
That's right.
But also, you've played organized basketball for a while. Who are some of the influences for you growing up?
I think the main influence for my basketball career has been my dad. He played at Kentucky Wesleyan, and he's played at Boyd County High School as well, so he's kind of local. He was the first person to put the ball in my hands. I've always wanted to be like him. I've looked up to him from day one. So, and he comes to every game. He's just a big supporter, and he's definitely the person I look up to.
Yeah. Do you guys ever get together and play some one-on-one from time to time?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Who wins those games?
You know, it used to be him. I think now his age is going up a little bit. I'm starting to get him recently.
He's starting to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, he can still play, though.
Yeah.
So we have fun.
You've got a lot of talent on this year's Bears team, 14th in the country. I know Coach Wells not satisfied. You've got 3 losses, a couple of tough losses most recently, but looking to make a transition. This team will be different in the second semester and right those wrongs next time out against those teams. But let's talk non-basketball. Let's talk about a couple of your teammates. Best dancer on the team.
Best dancer would definitely be Marshall Bennett.
Marshall Bennett.
Yeah.
He's got it going on.
No doubt. He's got it going on.
What about the worst dancer on the team?
Probably myself.
Yeah.
I'd have to pick myself for the worst dancer.
Can we get it? Can we get a demonstration sometime?
Maybe.
Not
Maybe.
necessarily tonight.
Not tonight. Not tonight.
But at some point, you've got to be better than Coach Compton.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen him. I've seen him dance. Of course, Trey, you're a senior. You're looking to graduate and move on into coaching. We want to wish you well in your future.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Trey Rakes, 5'10", senior guard at the University of Pikeville. Our guest. We'll step out. We'll come back. You'll meet another of the U-Pike seniors when we return. The Kelly Wells Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless. We are live at Buffalo Wild Wings. Welcome back to the Kelly Wells Show. We're coming to you live from Buffalo Wild Wings in Pikeville, talking U-Pike basketball. The Bears currently 14th in the country in the latest rankings and 11-3. And heading into final exams. We're still in the Bears Den and joined by another senior on this U-Pike team. Daniel Afiaki, a 6'9" senior out of San Bruno, California, joins us now. Daniel, welcome to the Kelly Wells Show.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you. And, of course, you guys have wrapped up basically the first half of your season, and you're heading into final exams. Let's talk academics. Let's talk about what your major is and what you plan to do in the future.
As of right now, I'm a sports management major. I'm focusing on business. After college, I would love to play basketball, but if I'm not playing basketball, I just want to be around basketball, coach basketball, just anything that's a part of basketball.
How big of an influence is it on you knowing that there are U-Pike players who have gone on to play basketball professionally? Trevor Setti, you've got K-Goat also still playing professionally. Several guys still playing overseas. How big of an influence was that in deciding to come to U-Pike knowing that those guys end up in the pros?
Well, we had KK Simmons last year.
Sure.
Go overseas. We have Christian Leach, who's playing overseas, and knowing that there's a possibility of still having the chance to play basketball after college is really comforting, and knowing that a lot of people here at U-Pike plays overseas, like that was a big influence in my decision in coming here.
Absolutely. And, of course, possibly going into coaching somewhere down the road. Have you had a coach in your basketball playing career, maybe in grade school, maybe in middle school or high school, that was an influence on your basketball career?
Definitely in high school. I had a coach all 4 years who definitely was always there for me, always helped me train in like off time, and always made sure I was doing good in school. And it's like the little things like that always help out like a player.
Sure. You make it to the University of Pikeville, smack dab in the middle of central Appalachia, deep into eastern Kentucky.
Yeah.
And people tuned in right now are asking the question, how does a California kid end up in eastern Kentucky?
I mean, I've never heard of Pikeville, let alone ever heard of Kentucky, really. And then when I saw that recruitment letter come in, and I saw Kelly Wells, and I saw like the basketball program and how well the basketball program was, I couldn't turn down that offer.
Very good. You're heading into final exams. You've played in some very competitive basketball games, Mid-South Conference, Georgetown, Life. You've got some teams that get after you. The Mid-South Conference, one of the top conferences in the country, pressure-packed games. Where do you stress more, stepping onto the court in one of those games or walking into a final this week?
Oh man, definitely stepping on the court with a conference team like that. 'Cause it is a different environment out there. When you play conference teams like Georgetown and Life and Cumberland's, you got to bring your A game. I mean, you definitely got to bring your A game for finals, but you got to bring a different A game.
You don't
against
have a
those
guy.
teams.
You don't have a guy in your face during those finals.
No, you don't. It's all you. But when you got a guy in your face, you got the pressure on you.
Indeed, the Mid-South Conference, quite a conference. I ask you a couple of questions about this team, about this team's behavior in the locker room, on the bus, in the hotel, traveling. We asked Trey Rakes the question, who's the best dancer on this team? We're going to ask you the same question.
Hands down, Marshall Bennett.
Hands down.
Always dancing, always having a good attitude, smiling, always keeping good vibes around
Sure.
us.
How about the worst dancer?
And again, Trey Rakes. Does not know how to dance, but as long as he's having fun out there, we're all having fun.
Right. Is there dancing going on coming off a loss?
Coming off a loss, there's no dancing, but the next day at practice, we're back to having fun and just having happy faces out there.
Have you seen Coach Wells dance?
Not yet. But I know once we start winning in conference, he's going to start dancing.
I think that's the goal. Get
Yeah.
Coach Wells. Somebody's got to get the smartphone out and get some video. Daniel Afiaki, thanks for being with us on the Kelly Wells Show. Best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Daniel Afiaki, 6'9" senior with your University of Pikeville Bears. We'll get a break. We'll be rejoined by the coach, Coach Kelly Wells. The show, it's presented by Appalachian Wireless. We are live from Buffalo Wild Wings. Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings in Pikeville, home of the Kelly Wells Show. It's presented by Appalachian Wireless. We talk U-Pike basketball every Wednesday night at 6:30 right here, and you're invited to join us next week when Coach Kelly Wells and some of the Bear players will be here. Your opportunity to meet the team right here at Buffalo Wild Wings. And, Coach, a great representation of the type of young men that are associated with the U-Pike team. Daniel Afiaki and Trey Rakes, both seniors with bright futures in front of them.
Yeah, we wanted to start off the right way. We want to put two guys in front of you that we're so proud of. That we're proud of all our guys, certainly, but Dan and Trey have been staples of our program. Trey for 4 years, Dan for 2 years now, and Dan was nominated for the Good Works team by the NABC, and there was only a handful of student athletes at the NAI level period that got nominated for that. So what a great honor for him. And Trey's going to graduate on time. He's just been a model student athlete here at our school, and we're thankful for him and also thankful that he's having a good season. We wanted his senior year to be great for him, and both those guys are just a positive reflection of our school and how we want to do things.
Indeed, and of course you'll meet a couple of new Bears coming up very soon. A couple of commitments today from high school players. Talk about those. Now that they've committed and signed with U-Pike, you can discuss those guys a little bit.
Yeah, we've been real excited. We wanted to try to get off to a quicker start and not put so much pressure on ourselves down the stretch in recruiting. And there's no exact science to recruiting regardless of what anybody tells you. But we feel very, very good about the two guard signees that we've had. We have Austin Combs from Knott County Central, and we got an early commitment from him and just got around to signing him. Actually waited till his birthday before we signed him. And he comes from a great program, great family. He's been well coached. This is a place he wants to be. He's a great student athlete, fits ideally in what we're trying to do. And today we just got a commitment from Mason Blair at Johnson Central, who is a prolific scorer.
Yes.
And he's decided he wanted to play defense a little bit more this year and be great in all aspects of the game, and it's really shown. And that's what I needed to see to convince me that, he's going to be very good for us. And as we talked earlier, with some offensive struggles, there was no better time for me than to try to find somebody who could put that ball in the hole and put it in a whole lot. And he's certainly one of those guys. And, again, comes from a great family, well coached. Tommy McKenzie does a great job at Johnson Central. He's probably won as many games in the Expo Center as some of our current players have won there. So love having kids of that nature in our program.
Absolutely. And, of course, local kids, they get it. They understand what the University of Pikeville is all about coming in. And, as you said, they want to be here. And that's so important. This team in finals week, and, of course, they're spending a lot of time concentrating on the books, but you're still getting some basketball work in.
Yeah, it's different kind of work. We're trying to be smarter, let them have their time, and a lot of study groups, a lot of different things that they need to be committed to. But we're still doing our 2-hour classrooms every night. We want to make sure that we get there. We've given them some days off to get certain things done that they need to. And, not playing until next week is giving us some time to relax their legs a little bit,
Sure.
let them focus and concentrate. But, this is a big time in their life. I mean, we've got to make sure they get through this. We got to make sure they do as well as they can so they can continue to stay here and continue
Sure.
to thrive as a student athlete.
Some folks tuned in may not realize that obviously you offer a lot of support on the court, basketball-wise, in their basketball life, but also offering academic support. You have study groups. There are tutors available for these guys, and the professors work well with the kids as well.
Well, we're blessed here at our institution. Retention's a big thing for us, and the support and the student success department and every single faculty member and staff member are all in this together. It's a whole big one happy family, and we call it the One Bear family, and we certainly do rely on one another to get through things. And, every kid is at a different level academically, and their expectations are different. Some are in harder majors than others and more challenging and have more hours and schedules. So it's really unique.
Sure.
And we spend a lot of time, and, basketball is a huge part of what they do here, but that we would be remiss to say if that was all we did here. We love our guys, and we want them to be good socially, academically, as well as in basketball. And that's our biggest core value is we want to make sure that they do the right things academically, that they can take here and continue to grow. And when they call me 10 years from down the road of what a great job they've got, what a great family they have, and certainly are very successful because of their experiences here at UPike.
Latest rankings came out, the first of the regular season. Your team's 14th. Your thoughts there?
Yeah, we moved up. I was a little bit surprised that we moved up, after losing, and certainly a lot of that's based on our tradition, I think, more than anything. And we have now the longest standing stretch of being in the top 25 of any team in the country. And we're proud of that. We want to continue to do that. But we also know we've got a work cut out for us. We've got a big stretch here over the break, and then we'll get rolling as the conference rolls back around.
Very good. We'll talk again next week as we preview Bob Jones University. Thanks so much, Coach Kelly Wells. It is the Kelly Wells Show, talking UPike basketball. We're live from Buffalo Wild Wings every Wednesday night. It's presented by Appalachian Wireless. Thanks for tuning in.